Alright, welcome to probably the worst YouTube channel on YouTube. Definitely the worst automotive channel on all of YouTube. But this is my 1988 Buick Reatta. If you've seen the channel, which I'm getting a couple of people who watch pretty regularly, I've done quite a few videos on this car. And basically, all I was saying was, I guess this is kind of an owner's report of after owning it for owning a 33-year-old car for after, I don't know, I think I've owned it for 4 months. I just cleaned it, it's starting to get a little dirty, so I'm going to have to clean it again tomorrow. I really want to buy an awning to put it under. It'd be really nice if I had a garage, but, whatever. Maybe someday. And basically, I guess I'll start off this video with, if you don't know what a reatta is, because they are a fairly rare car. People have heard of them, but they may not know what they are. Basically, all the Buick Reatta is it is a limited production, low volume. It was never intended to be that, but that's what it ended up being. Low volume Grand Tourer car made by Buick in the 80s and early 90s. This is the first year of it, being in 1988. And the final year being a 1991. They made 21,000 cars throughout in the entire 4-year production run. There's only 21,000 of these. Or they made 21,000 of them. There's probably less than that. There's probably more like 10 to 12,000 left. Mine is somewhat rare. They're all rare, but mine's somewhat rare because the sunroof. Reatta guys are kind of like Corvette guys. I have the rarest one because my color code's different. Or I have the rarest one in my case because I have a sunroof. Get off my car, bug. I have the rarest one because I have a sunroof. That kind of thing. And the rarest ones are the convertibles. The convertibles they started making in the 90s. They started making those 1990 to 1991. This car has has the first generations, as I call them. They're all the same, but they did change a couple of things after 90. In 90, you get a different dash and you lose a touchscreen. This car, if you don't know, has a touchscreen in it. That's factory in 88, 89. They're all a little different, every one of them every year. For instance, 88 has a touchscreen, but no button for there is no button for the glove box, which the glove box is borderline useless in this car anyway. But there is no button for that. So or no handle for that, so you have to push a button, kind of like a Tesla. And in 88, they did away with that, and then they gave it a handle. 90, they changed it to where that's the first one without the touch screen. I believe there's a little differences in 90 from a 91, but don't quote me on that. I believe they're all a little different every year. They're all the same car, but there's like a couple of little odds and ends that are different. Well, on this car, it is I'll go and pop the hood. I will go ahead and pop the hood. It's the nearly bulletproof Buick V6. The nearly bulletproof V6 under here, 3800, all iron, internal cam V6. All I've had to do to the motor is it needs a tune-up, probably. It runs really good, but it probably could use a tune-up. I've replaced the alternator, the idler pulley, or the tensioner pulley, not idler. I've replaced the water pump, and I have replaced the harmonic balancer. And the harmonic balance, all those are not hard to replace. The harmonic balancer is the hardest one. You're technically supposed to have a puller, but you can hammer it off. Just make sure you don't hit the silver teeth on the back of it, because that's what we did. We changed it in like 20 minutes. It was not hard. I kind of want to supercharge this car because it accelerates all right, but you can tell it's an 80s Buick V6 making 180 horsepower, so a supercharger will bolt right on. I believe you just have to like get a different mount for like the alternator or something, and then the supercharger will bolt right in. There's pretty much no difference in the motor. None at all. This one, you're going to be a little sideways. This one, I'm not quite sure how many miles it is on it because my dash is out. We believe it is either the computer in the car that controls all that is gone, or we found a relay that's burned up under there. That could be what's wrong. One of those two. Hopefully it's just a relay and we've been overlooking it. Please excuse the fireworks. It is the 4th of July. Oh, tomorrow is, but it's the day before the 4th of July. So you're probably going to hear a couple fireworks. Oh, my hood. It messed up on me. I need to buy some hood struts for it. I just haven't yet. Those need to be replaced, because as you can see, my hood is a little messed up from that side. So it needs some hood struts, and it needs this part right here. The actual rivet came loose, so it needs that piece of the rivet riveted back in. I'll go ahead and show you the trunk. This car has it's just me, so I don't fill the trunk up. The cargo space isn't a big issue for me. I dropped my keys. Cargo space is not a big issue for me. As you can see, it's a tad bit dirty. Well, it's not that dirty. I have my hood prop in there. Some coolant in case I need it. And you have a little flap that'll open up back there that you can get to. That's a little ski hatch. So in case I ever need to take my golf clubs to the golf course, I can. My light bar. The light bar back here. Every single bulb is still good in it. All of them are good. Now I do need to change out my headlights because my headlights are, I believe, the incorrect headlights. They are single bulb, not dual bulb. So I do not have high beams. I don't drive at night very often, but I do need to fix that. I'm going to upgrade them to LED. Probably here in the near future, because that needs to be done. And my sunroof, I bought it like that. I knew the sunroof couldn't be used. But my sunroof is messed up. It'll open, but it won't close properly. The gasket's gone bad, so it leaks. We kind of put a makeshift gasket in there. As you can see, it's pretty ugly. Eventually, I want to get this professionally redone. Because I do not have a garage to try to redo it. My U and I still have the I, but the U fell off going down the road, so that was fun. And this right here, I still have this. Last time you saw it, it probably had it, but I still have that piece. I'm going to put it back on the car. I just haven't had time to yet. I do try to maintain this car the best I can. This was not a showpiece when I bought it. This was a driver's car when I bought it. It looks really good, but there are flaws. There are flaws in it, and it's a 33-year-old car. This is my daily driver. This is my daily driver car. It's a very nice car for daily driving. Oh, I need to replace these. This is just kind of turned into everything's broken. But I guess I would say, if you could find one of them in about the same shape as this one, and it's cheap, go for it, buy it. They're probably going to go up in price. They're very nice cars for what they are. They're probably going to go up in price one day, but I don't know. It's just I know everybody who sees this car compliments it. Everybody who knows what it is compliments it, and I get like compliments every other day on this car. I mean, it's crazy. I've had like 5 people try to buy it from me. So this car's probably going to go up in value. Just from how much people like this car and its rarity, and if you can find one for a good price and decent shape and cheap, buy it. That's what I would say. That's what I'd say, because the ownership, it's been relatively cheap. The most I've put into this car so far, I still need to put more into it, but I think I have $300 in the car minus buying it. I think that's about what I have in total after I fix all the little odds and ends. I have about 500 because I bought a different dash because I thought the dash was physically broken, but it turns out that wasn't the problem. But minus all that, and most of them don't have bad dashes. Apparently that's pretty rare to have a bad dash. The dash itself normally doesn't go bad. It's something else in the car that does. I didn't know that till after I bought the dash. But it's a phenomenal little car. They're just kind of rare. They're hard to find. I would highly recommend buying one if you know how to work on a car, because it is a 33-year-old car. If you're going to drive it any amount, you're going to be fixing it eventually. Eventually, something's going to break, and you're going to have to fix it. That's just the way it is. That's how old cars are. Unless you've completely rebuilt it from the ground up, you're going to fix something. Like, for instance, my Caprice right there. The dirty old green Caprice, the Caprice Sun. I'm building that one from the ground up. Pretty much. For the most part. Because I have a brand new motor going into it that's fully built. I have a brand new transmission that's fully built going into it. I have a brand new... well, the rear end's going to get rebuilt. It's going to have different differentials in it. So the axle could eventually break. But pretty much everything in that car is going to get rebuilt, so I won't really have to worry about things breaking as much. What will break that car is it's built for performance. Because I have a big block going in that one that's fully built. This one is my daily, so things are going to... They're old. They're going to wear out and they're going to break. I'm going to have to fix them. That's how it works. That's the way life is. But I guess if you can figure out, if you can find one in good shape, I know I've said it a million times, go for it. Go for it. Now, don't expect parts to be easy to find, but go for it. Well, they're easy to find for drivetrain. I mean cosmetic stuff. I guess with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you made it this far into the video and you like what you saw and you want to see more, the biggest way, and you want to help the channel, the biggest way to do that is by subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing the video to anyone who might be interested, and spreading the word of the channel, getting its name out there. But other than that, thank you for watching and have a good one.